Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Last Cloudia. Today is part 2 of the Attack on Titan collab. So today we're going to be discussing the second banner, and we're going to go over my overall thoughts of the collab in general. So stay tuned. And first we will discuss Levi. So this is a soldier with pretty good stats in terms of strength, defense, and HP. I am a little surprised that he has a high mind stat as well, since this isn't really a crit-based unit, but we'll take it, why not? Notable resistances: blind, curse, and stun. Really good to see resistances on those three. Exactly what you want out of a physical DPS character. As we assume, this is an earth-based attacking unit, so that makes perfect sense. As a matter of fact, someone even reached out and said that another way they knew this was going to be an earth unit was because they had collected some of the items that was specifically for Levi, and they all said earth-based stuff. So yeah, it was pretty obvious that he was going to be earth for many, many reasons, but there you go. Things to look at for traits. So his first trait is Ultimate Warrior of Mankind. Physical damage plus 30%, damage cap 5k. When physically attacking, cut enemy's defense by 20% and then deal damage. Half chance of losing the effect of a skill Snapblade. Basically that means that he has a smaller chance of actually losing the buff that you get in the beginning. So that's pretty good. Better than the other two. Also, we have a rare ability. Battle start plus 3 more gas buffs from the skill ODM gear. When physically rear attacking, damage plus 40%, damage cap 5k. So we have a conditional damage cap for those like doing the attack from behind stuff. I think he has some skills that might do that. And let's take a look at what he has in terms of his skills. So we're looking at Attack Up Max, Fighting Spirit 5, Illusion, Human Slayer, which every time we see that we think PvP, Special Boost, which we want, Auto Brave, Auto Protection, Awaken, Earth High Drive, Earth Mega Drive, which we like that, more damage cap, Ale of Glory, Surprise Attack, Bless Speed, Armor Piercer, which this is the visibly attacking chance for enemy defense minus 30% and deal damage. So now he has two ways to lower defense. He has Element's trait, and now he has a percentage chance on a skill. We also have Shockwave 2, which I think we've seen this once before. Basically helps to nullify guard. True Dual Wield, which is the second time we've seen this, the first being Swimsuit Alice. Basically, it's the same as Dual Wield, except it also applies to specials. We have Sword Mega Boost, some more damage cap. Quick Trigger, which was one of my favorites as well. Sharp Eyes, Combo Master 2, Giant Killing 2, Death God, which we don't see very often. Snap Blade, Change Blade, Scout Regiment, and ODM Gear, which we've seen from the other two characters. No need to go over those. We have Neat Nick, which is unique to him. When not at max HP, strength and defense plus 20%. That's a pretty strong buff, especially since a lot of times you see at max HP get a bonus or at critical get a bonus. This is one of those skills where you know he's going to get hit, so you're going to get a bonus as long as you're not at full HP. Pretty good ability, in all honesty, really good. Also, we have Erwin's Plan. Battle start, apply a physical attack damage plus 25% buff, and inflict a physical attack damage taken plus 10% debuff on all allies. So basically, this is him being a team player, which I always like seeing. And that's what you have right here. So overall, this is going to be a really strong physical DPS unit. He has a lot of good damage caps through various means. Some of it is conditional, but even without the conditional buffs, I still think he's good enough to get the job done, especially since he has the ability to lower the enemy's defense, which means that not only will he be able to make sure to do more damage, but so will everybody else on the team. So yeah, overall, going to be a really good unit if you pull him. So good luck to you guys for that one. Onward to the Arc. This is going to be Aaron versus the female Titan. So the Arc trait is special damage boost based on number of living allies, max of 80%. Damage to guarded enemies plus 20%. Damage taken when guarding minus 20%. When an enemy uses a special, restore unit's special gains by 30% once per wave. Very, very niche skill. So interesting, I'll say. As far as what we can learn, you can have guard or Grand Guard. Counter charge, which I think this is new. When counter activates, recover 1 second of SCT. I don't know if we've ever had this before. I don't remember ever seeing this. But okay. We have HP up 4. We have Battle of the Titans. When no armor or weapons are equipped, damage dealt plus 20% and damage taken minus 20%. So there's about a couple of units that I know of that could do well with this. I believe Lexaeus is one. And I believe, I forgot his name already, but the Heathen guy, he was like one of those bosses that came out that does like all the elements and stuff like that. I just forgot his name. But he also could benefit off of this as well. We actually have a similar skill that was in a different collab that does something similar whenever you don't have any armor or weapons equipped. So it's nice to see that they have something else to boost that if you have a character that's built that way. I think it's a cool thing to see. Auto protection, we have ultimate boost 3. Now this is new. Power specials plus 50%. So one thing that I didn't mention about Levi is that ideally, since he has true dual will, he should be able to do a lot more damage. You want to increase that damage as much as possible. And I want to say that he might be one of the few units that actually can deal good damage based off of the special. There's very few units whose special can actually deal some really good damage. Alice being like the biggest exception because she can do some massive damage because she's basically a special based character. But I think Levi can be that character too. That can not just be good with skills, but can also be good with specials as well. And Ultimate Boost 3 will just help that even further. So I kind of like seeing that we have a third one. It's 8SC, so is it worth it? I'm not 100% sure. I actually did pull the arc, so I'll probably be looking at some of my special character builds and see if it's actually worth it or not. But it seems interesting. I like seeing support for specials because, in honesty, in this game, most specials are just not great. So this is a good way to make specials potentially viable, especially for boss fights when the fight's going to be dragged on for a long time. Like I said, this has potential, so it'll take testing to see. But overall, I think it's a decent arc. Let's take a look at the Ether reward. I forgot about that. The Scout Cloak. So this is an accessory. You have 500 HP, 62 defense, 29 mind. Chance to nullify physical special damage. And then you have a resistance to fire 10, ice 5. Overall, I think this accessory has potential only because you can potentially nullify specials. The reason that's important, in my opinion, is for two reasons. One, boss fights, and two, tower. But specifically more for boss fights, because something that you'll find out whenever you start fighting those super bosses is that when you get them to critical, they love to just spam their specials over and over, like back to back, basically like wiping out your party. So this particular accessory has the potential to keep a person from dying, because that's typically how you die from the big bosses, usually some kind of special they do. So I like this. I think this has potential. The only thing that I don't like is, since this has a chance, that usually means a low percentage, so it might not be reliable. But I think it's worth trying. I think it has potential to be really, really good in those specific kind of fights, which are very important fights. So, like I said, I think it's a decent piece of gear, and the stats aren't too bad. So overall, I think this is a decent arc. I don't think this is like broken or anything. I don't think this is one of those arcs that like you want to chase after or anything. Like I said, the arc trait is very specific. The abilities you can learn are decent, I'll say, and then the accessory has a lot of potential. But again, nothing that really screams, wow, this is a fantastic arc. It's just an okay arc. It's from what I can tell, first impression. But definitely, I think Levi is what you want to get in this banner more than the arc if you're pushing to purchase in this banner. Now let's check out Levi's gear. Let's see which one is the better one. So we start with Levi's blade. This is an earth element. Strength 253, defense 35, mind plus 8. Earth attack damage cap 1500. Physical attack damage plus 10%. Special damage plus 30%. So, as I was saying a little while ago, Levi might be one of those units who has like a really good special in terms of dealing a good amount of damage. And this particular weapon helps that. It's giving you special damage plus 30%, which I believe is Ultimate Boost 2 that gives you 30%. I might be wrong on that. But basically you have that built into a weapon plus damage cap. And then just plus physical damage in general. So, I mean, this really just kind of helps to push him one step above. I think this is a pretty decent sword. You know what I mean? I think it's good. Let's take a look at the accessory. We have Levi's Cloak, so 500 HP, defense 51, mine 24. Chance to nullify physical damage taken, damage from bosses minus 10%, continuous haste effect, and you also get a resistance to stun and illness. So overall, I think this is a decent accessory. I don't like the chance to nullify physical damage because, again, that's probably going to be low and not reliable. Shrugging off boss damage from bosses by 10% is actually decent as far as keeping your characters alive. And then, of course, a continuous haste effect is great. You get auto haste in an accessory. Why not? I think that's pretty strong. And we did see in Levi's kit that he does have a resistance to stun already, so this is going to make him nil, which is really good. So overall, this is actually a pretty good arc as far as defense is concerned. As far as which item I like, I think I'm going to go with Levi's Blade, only because of the fact that, one, I do like characters that can deal good damage with specials, and this supports that. It does have decent attack stats, and of course, you're getting a damage cap with a character that's going to be dual wielding. So again, it just all kind of comes together. So if you're budgeting and you want to pick an item, I definitely 100% go for Levi's Blade. I think that is definitely better than the Cloak for sure. Thoughts on the collab? Now, this is the first collab we've had of 2021, so we didn't really know what to expect. I will comment and say that I like the fact that they did an event based off of Sun Vessel, Island. It's one of those scenarios where you want to go have a vacation here, but all of a sudden you're getting attacked by these titans, so you're having to defend the island. I like that idea. I like the concept, so I think that this is a pretty good idea in general. Now, the particular Sun Vessel cast that we have here has some of your basic stuff that you always see. So you have your experience dungeons, your unit soul dungeons, and of course your ability point dungeon. And of course, if you're trying to specifically get the new characters leveled up, you have these little trading areas to make sure that you get their some of their unit souls. So you definitely want to get that whenever you have those characters. They also have the ability tower where you can grind for your clusters basically or in crystals. So decent thing to see. So they added a lot of stuff that you can do. Basically the way that they did it is you have to fight the titan more or less over and over to collect points, and then also if you meet certain goals you can make it to where you'll be able to get more regular coins and special coins that can be used to purchase some cool items in the shop. One thing that I do want to highlight that I definitely appreciate is the fact that the items you can get in the shop are fantastic. So first off, you have these G spheres right here. This is more of a late game item. So if you're a newer player or more like, you've only been playing for like a couple of months or something, don't feel bad if you can't grind these out. Again, this is one of those things where if you have this is more for people who have an old account that has the resources to grind this out and kind of give us a break from having to grind the Godforge bosses. So the fact that they're giving these as rewards that can be purchasable, I like that a lot. I mean, because I'm not really much in the multiplayer, and nor do I like doing the Godforge stuff. So the fact that I get these without having to go through that stress is just very, very convenient. But not only can you get the God Spheres, you can also get, let me go to the bottom of the stuff I purchased. You can get Mega Clusters. You can get the Grimoires. Now, the Grimoires is what you use when you're trying to learn skills after you E5 a character. So the fact that these can be earned as well is super strong. This isn't something we see in every event, so this is really cool that these are also obtainable. And of course, like I said earlier, you have mega clusters as well. So as for an event, whether it be a collab or even not a collab, the fact that we can grind this kind of stuff is fantastic. This is something we don't see normally. Unless you're doing like the New Year's event or like the anniversary event, those are typically the only times you would expect to see that kind of a grind. An easy grind, but as far as being able to do it on a collab, that is a huge added bonus, and I'm definitely grateful that we have something like that. Now, for the part 2 of the collab, we do have the training grounds where basically you have to fight Mikasa and Eren. So This is basically for people who have strong units and strong builds, and you can take this out. You know what I mean? And basically for winning, you get 50 of the special coins, which is how you can get some of the more rare stuff, and of course you can get some prisms and whatnot. So, like I said, pretty cool little boss that you get to fight. Um, you know, but overall, I would say that this has actually been a pretty decent collab. Now, I say decent and not like perfect because there's one big problem that I have, and it's a problem that we've had for a while, which is just the simple fact that we no longer get story exposition and anime collabs like we used to. The problem is just that we got used to having that in the very beginning because, with ReZero and Dr. Stone, we used to get a lot of story exposition that was just really cool. It really added to the event, so it wasn't just grinding the same levels over and over. You got some story content that kind of blended the two worlds together. And since then, we just haven't seen that. So it is a bit disappointing. And I know I probably shouldn't be judging the collabs based off of that, but when you start off at the beginning like that, that sets a standard. So when you stop doing that kind of stuff, it just makes it to where you're disappointed pretty much all around. But outside of the story, I think they did a fantastic job with the collab. Like I said, the rewards you can earn are fantastic. Also, with the whole Titan structure, this is a good way to see where your account is at. So obviously, most of the in-game players are doing the level 100, whereas a lot of the early game or mid game people are doing either the easy or the hard ones. So it kind of gives you an idea where your account is. If you can't do the level 100, don't worry about it. It just means that your account is not built for that. This is more for late game players, so no biggie. But either way, like I said, I think they overall did a good job. Like I said, my only complaint is the lack of story. As a matter of fact, what they could have done, in my opinion, is right here where it says the lighthouse, where you got Aaron. Was the perfect opportunity to introduce the characters to them because like I said, Kyle and friends come to the island to relax, and all of a sudden they're being attacked by these titans. They don't know what they are and what's going on, and boom, there's Aaron who kind of shows up. Not sure why he's there, but he explains to them that I know what these are. This is what's going on, and then it kind of sets a little bit of story precedence. And then, what could have happened is later on in the story, you could have had them meet Mikasa, or even Levi, or both, who just kind of comes in maybe in the second half for more story exposition, kind of explaining more of what's going on. Maybe you find out that it's like, Lily or Maja who decided to like summon these things and try to basically take over or destroy the Sun Vessel Island. Like there are some ideas here, and mine are just basic ideas. I mean, I'm sure that Adis could do better than I could, but there are some ways that they could have done a little bit of story added to this in certain nodes to kind of add a little bit of flavor to it. Like I said, that's just the only thing that we miss. So I mean, if I was to say a scale of 1 to 5, I'd definitely give it a 4 because, like I said, overall, really good collab. It was easy to grind the unit souls, easy to level up the characters to 120. Like I said, they did a good job of making it to where if you get the characters, you can easily build them up and use them. I have to also give them props that the free character, Aaron, is actually really good. So even if you weren't able to pull Mikasa or Levi, you at least got a decent freebie. You know what I mean? He has a lot of good skills for a physical DPS. He's definitely a good starter for newer players. And yeah, I think that they did a good job with the free unit. I know that a lot of people have been disappointed with the free units we've had in the past, so I think this is a step in the right direction. I mean, they don't necessarily need to be broken, right, because they are free, but at least this is something that you could look at and be like, you know what, he's not that bad. I'll go ahead and use him in this area to get some extra points or whatever. So again, like I said, they did a great job with this collab, and I hope we continue to see similar things in the future. But yeah, that's going to be it. Unfortunately for me, I did not pull Levi. I actually did about 18 or 19 multis this morning and did not pull it at all. I think I pulled duplicates of the Arc, but I just didn't pull Levi, which is fine. I got Mikasa, so I got something, right? So even if you do have like tens of thousands of crystals, you're not guaranteed anything. Now, most of the crystals I used were free, so like I didn't like empty the wallet, to try to get the character. I'm not about to do any more what do you call it, pities. I'm not about that life anymore. But like I said, it's a lesson learned where I at least got something out of it. I got Mikasa. I got one of the new arcs. I'm happy, and that's pretty much it. So hopefully, we see good collabs going forward. They continue this trend, and we'll see what happens. So until next time, keep gaming and take care, everyone. Later.